Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I found a pretty comfortable way to lounge here on the couch other than throwing myself completely back. The reason why I'm coming at you is I thought of something related to my morning video in which I mentioned that small towns have a lot of rich history oftentimes. Several years ago, back in the day, when I did more than I do now for the paper, frankly, I interviewed some fascinating figures from this region. One gentleman was named Mr. Caseby, and he was on board the USS Nautilus, the submarine that crossed the North Pole and made history. He was a crew member. And so that was really neat to go over to his house and interview him. Oh, what a spotless house he had. He'd passed away since. But I interviewed him, and, oh my gosh, it was great. We did kind of a two-parter, and I wanted to do sidebars. I've always wanted to do sidebars. We didn't, though. You know, sidebar information, that just thrills me to the marrow. Doesn't take much, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I interviewed him, and then I interviewed another fella. Oh, I get so upset because I forget his last name. Oh, man. And they're like a prominent figure over in Harmonsburg, PA. Where George Washington stayed overnight, by the way, in that town. Remember how George Washington was known for kind of sleeping around? Well, I mean, you know, while doing his surveying. Oh, I'm really upset I can't remember his name, but he was involved with the construction of Pymatuning Lake. Pymatuning Lake is, I don't know what it is. Well, if you go to Linesville, it's like 7 miles from here. And then, you know, it crosses over the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania. If you look on a map and you see that, looks almost like a C, the letter C, sort of. It sort of looks like a Hebrew letter as well. Anyhow, if you go and look at that, a map, that is Pymatuning Lake, and that is not a natural lake. It's a man-made lake. And I think it was made, honest to Pete, for torpedo testing and things like that. Also, the floodplains and all that jazz. But they did test torpedoes in it. It's really crazy. And, yeah. Oh, God, his name's almost in the front of my brain now. I can't remember it. I apologize. Yeah, so that was kind of neat talking to him. And he has since passed away. He lived to be ancient, like 100 years old or something. Who else? What else? I don't know. I've just interviewed interesting people over the years right here in this little region that have made a difference in the world or in the community. Wally Hyde, the gentleman with the clean bathrooms. The gentleman whose party we went to the other week who turned 90. He has a fascinating background and really built that business up and has been a pillar of the community, honest to Pete. So, yeah, I just got to thinking it's oftentimes many of us are starstruck and madly in love with celebrities. Gee, I wonder where I get that idea since one was elected as president, ladies and gentlemen. When really in our own backyards, we have people that are noteworthy. Of course, I think everybody's noteworthy in their own way. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. Oh, my word. I just remembered another person, thank goodness, stopped me from singing. A gentleman who also passed away, and I did not get to interview him, but I had him on my schedule to approach. I love to say approach. Was the... He used to be a pilot on Air Force One, and he lived right in Espyville, PA, right down the road here. One of our little hamlets, one of our charming hamlets that dots the scenery of the hills and the beautiful greenery, lush whatever of Pennsylvania. Yeah. So, anyhow, yeah, excitement in your own backyard. Sometimes you don't even know about it. So, right now I recommend you go to your neighbor, knock on the door, ask for a cup of sugar and for their life story. I bet you won't be disappointed. I know I wouldn't be because my mother's my neighbor. I'm always borrowing a cup of whatever from her. And her life story is very fascinating. Okay, that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day.